Hey guys, welcome back to another Spy Family Sunday. I'm so excited. Last week, as you know, we did not get a chapter, but we did get some cute illustrations, which I made a comment about in my community post. But we are back, baby. Again, if you guys are liking the content here, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into the chapter. This was a really good chapter, and the reason I say that is because we finally get a Yor-centric chapter. It feels like we haven't focused on Yor in quite a while. And so this chapter starts off with her and some of her co-workers, and so they're working overtime. Camilla is complaining about, I'm never going to get my work done, we're going to be here all night, and Yor volunteers to help her, which I think is really sweet. You know, Camilla, it's a love-hate relationship. We just need Camilla to, girl, just go ahead and admit you like Yor, y'all are friends, it's fine. And so Yor is like, well, I still need to repay you from when you helped me learn how to cook. And of course, Camilla's like, oh yeah, you do owe me for that, don't you? Because, you know, with Camilla, nothing is ever simple. And it's interesting because while they're working, Sharon is the first one to sort of break the ice. She's like, you know, you've gotten a lot more chatty with us. You're talking to us now. Yor sort of reflects on that. Ever since I got here, I've kept to myself because of my assassin job. But, you know, now Yor feels like she can finally open up, and I think that's really great. Sharon asks Yor, how is your daughter doing after the kidnapping incident? It's good that Sharon is considering Yor's well-being and Anya's well-being. And Yor tells her, oh, Anya's fine. She's back to her normal, energetic self. Camilla happens to overhear them, and she's like, hey, no chit-chatting. They finally finish all the work. Sharon's like, I'm starving. Let's go get something to eat. It's on you, Camilla. They invite Yor to come out, and Yor's like, really? You want me to come? And Camilla's like, yeah, I guess that's fine if you come. And she's like, well, let me call my husband and let him know what's going on. And so everybody goes to this restaurant. Camilla's already drunk and she's complaining about Dominic, and she's like, I keep telling him he's got to be cutthroat if he wants to move up in this world. Everybody's ranting about, my husband doesn't do this and my partner doesn't do this, and he was 20 minutes late on the date and he acted like it was nothing. He just laughed it off, and I wanted to just kill him right then and there. And that was Camilla who said that. Yor is equally as drunk, and she's listening to all of this. She starts internalizing all of this in a really funny way. She's like, oh my god, marriage makes women turn into assassins. Why didn't the shopkeeper ever tell me this? Everybody's complaining about their situation, and they're like, man, you know, Yor, you and your husband, y'all are so lovey-dovey, and y'all have a perfect marriage, and y'all never complain about anything. And, you know, Yor's reflecting on it, and of course, Lloyd is a perfectionist. I mean, he's a spy, and he doesn't want Yor to be suspicious about him, so he just gets everything done in an efficient way. All of Yor's co-workers are pretty much just like, it kind of pisses me off that you never have anything to complain about your husband. Nothing seems to bother y'all. And of course, Yor is like, she doesn't want to be left out of this, and she's like, no, we fight about things. And Camilla's like, yeah, you want to give us an example? Of course, Yor is a terrible liar. She just finds some kind of excuse off the top of her head, and how Lloyd makes omelets too sweet and she makes them sweet for Anya, but Yor doesn't like her omelets to be sweet. And Camilla's like, really? That's the reason you guys fight? At this point, Yor's kind of getting a little bit frustrated at the situation, so Yor chugs like another glass of beer, and Sharon's like, whoa, take it easy on the alcohol. And Yor grabs one of the cutlery knives, and she's like, I'll be back. And so she starts walking away. Like, it just goes into complete insanity. And so she has this elaborate daydream about going to her shopkeeper and saying, hey, I need to kill my husband to preserve the sake of this marriage. And of course, we know that it's a ridiculous concept. Like, oh, my husband, my wife made me so mad, I just wanted to kill them. But the fact that Yor is taking this literally is what makes this chapter so hilarious. And so then we get this entire spread of Yor and Lloyd pretty much ready to throw hands over a sweet omelet. And even Lloyd is like, you want to kill me because I made an omelet sweet? That seems a bit extreme. Yor's like, no, this is absolutely necessary. And they're fighting, and then we get this panel of Anya, and she's like, mommy, daddy, like, stop fighting. And of course there's blood and all this stuff. And then we flash back to reality, and Yor is just standing at the doorway of the restaurant. She's trying to decide whether she wants to go or leave, and one of the waiters is like, ma'am, you can't leave the restaurant with cutlery. And so she comes back to the table and she's crying. She's like, I can't do it, guys, I can't do it. Camilla starts laughing. You know, everybody just is starting to tease her about the situation, and they're like, yeah, don't worry about it. We were just messing with you. And then they start teasing her about, I bet you guys are just all lovey-dovey over there. Yor gets embarrassed about that. And she's like, we don't do any of that kind of stuff. We have a small child. They're like, why is that supposed to stop you? And then Sharon's like, so you don't even give him a welcome home kiss? Nothing like that? And so then Yor starts getting pretty frustrated about it, and she's throwing a little tantrum like a child, and her co-worker's like, man, she's really adorable. And Sharon is the one that asks for the check before they leave. You know, Yor leaves on her own, and they're like, man, do you guys think she's gonna be able to do this? And they're like, nah, I don't think it's gonna happen. You know, they all agree that they want to invite Yor to hang out more after work now that she's wanting to be more social. And I just think it's really great character development. They're starting to treat her like a human being. And so Yor gets home and she's like psyching herself up. I'm home. And she starts pursing her lips like she is going to kiss him. But of course, her tolerance meter is like getting to the edge. It's building up. And Lloyd is looking at her confused and he's like, maybe she didn't have a good time. And then of course, you know, in classic Yor form, she starts to pass out and Lloyd grabs her and he's like, oh, it looks like you've had a little bit too much to drink. And now Yor's fantasizing. She's like, oh no, maybe he's taking the initiative. He's gonna kiss me. Except this time, I don't want to use violence. I guess she tries to do a backspin out of his hold and ends up knocking her head on the ground. And of course, Lloyd's like, Yor, what's going on? Are you okay? Are you that drunk? And then the chapter ends with a panel of Anya and she's mumbling to herself about how her parents are really loud when they get romantic. I thought this was a really good chapter. I feel like we got to know Yor a little bit more. How she's thinking about this relationship. What are the right things to do? What are the wrong things to do? Is it normal to fight with your partner? Should we be more romantic? Being a homemaker, being a wife, being a mother to Anya, you know, all of these things are starting to slowly seep into her mind. Because we all know that when this first started, it was a means to an end. And it still is. But I think the shell around Yor is definitely starting to crack. She wants to be normal. She wants to do the things that Camilla and Sharon and her co-workers do. Yeah, I thought it was really good. Endo is really teasing us with this kiss. We know it's gonna happen eventually, but I guess we will just have to keep waiting. As far as predictions for next chapter, I really don't know because I wasn't expecting a Yor-centric chapter. So next week, I mean, it's up in the air. Maybe we'll have a Lloyd-centric chapter. Maybe we'll have an Anya-centric chapter. Maybe we'll swing back to the Desmonds. I really don't know, but I really enjoyed this chapter. We got some story progress, definitely with Yor and her co-workers. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of Spy Family Chapter 79, and until next time, remember to be awesome and stay true.